Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Let's talk about Spencer and his stupid ass plan that didn't work. His plan was doomed from the start. Okay, he's going to somehow bluff his way into getting Esme to tell the truth by dangling, "Oh, I have who your birth mother is, and the only way you can get it back is if you exonerate Trina." I mean, there's a good chance for me to go to prison, but, you're a smart girl. You can sit there and be with your mother in no time. You know, for like 5 seconds until you go to jail. So I knew this plan was not going to work from the start. And that's exactly what wound up happening. It didn't work. He finally got a chance to talk to Esme, and he was like, "All right, listen, time is up. You going to sit there and take the deal or not?" Not. As in, no. As in, I'm not doing it. As in, I got another way to sit there and find her. So, no dice. So then he stood there, like, damn, that didn't work. Now, towards the end of this episode, I'm going to be going in just all sorts of different orders. Towards the end of the episode, he talks to Diane, and he's like, "Hey, listen, I got something to say that can help train her out." And Diane listens and puts him on the stand. Originally, Diane was going to put Trina on the stand. And Johnson was like, "Yo, listen, this is it. You guys sit there and tell on Spencer." I still think that is a waste at this point. And in some ways, I mean, it may actually want to backfire on her. Because, the jury, the judge can sit there and look at that like, "Oh, well, Trina's being spiteful and she's going to jail, so she's going to sit there and take down Esme's boyfriend." I don't know, but it's possible. So Josh was like, "You got to sit there and tell," but Spencer's going to go on the stand and practically die on the sword for no reason because, you know, technology has a way of recording something, you know, even if you're not there. Even if you're not there, you can still sit there and record whatever they're doing. So it doesn't really matter. So in the beginning, when Brando was walking with Sasha to go to therapy, Sasha practically was like, "What's the point of therapy? What's the point of therapy?" She actually said that too. She actually said, "What's the point of therapy?" This woman was so this woman was so high and so wallowing in grief that she had delusions of her deceased child live on national television. She actually had the nerve to say, "What's the point of therapy?" Let's just all think about that for a minute, okay? Let's just think about that sentence and just how acidine that sounds. Now, she's getting kind of bothered by Brando hovering. She's like, "Hey, listen, I get it. You're trying to support me, but I'm not going to sit there and run on out there. Um, the minute that you leave, they walk into they run into Michael and Willow." And of course, before that happened, or during that time, I think it was before that happened. You know, um, Willow ran into TJ and told TJ, "Hey, listen, just don't say anything about the whole white blood cell thing." Now, of course, HIPAA and everything like that, he's not going to sit there and violate it. But he's like, he should probably know. And of course, she's like, "Oh, well, until we know more, there's no need to sit there and worry him." Because, we're still sticking to that stupid ass lie for stupid ass reasons. So they talk, and of course, Willow's like, "I got to tell you something. I got to tell you both something." But Sasha's like, I already know. I overheard it from one of the nurses. Um, so they talk about that, and it's kind of break the ice and everything. Um, at some point, smokes come in, and smokes come in and reminds everyone that human beings at times could be absolute utter garbage. Okay, they can absolutely be just utter pieces of garbage. He walks up and he looks at Willow and he's like, "Oh, are you gonna forgive Sasha for running over your poor mother?" And I'm just like, where did that come from? Why was that even necessary for? Now, unfortunately, in real life, I'm not gonna sit there and say all paparazzis, but most of them are just human pieces of pig feces. Okay. So I don't know if he was trying to get a rise out of her or anything, but I don't understand how you can sit there and say something like that to someone and then expect to get anything out of them other than attacked or, you know, a lawsuit or whatever for harassment. They both pretty much tell him to go kick rocks, and he does wind up talking to Felt. Phelps, I think that's his name, after talking to Dante and was like, hey, listen, I got nothing to say. It was a mugging, even though I still have my cell phone in my wallet. Um, yeah, it was a mugging. So Smalls come in and Phelps like, hey, listen, I got some juicy dirt. What if Sasha was actually high when she ran over Sasha's mother? I mean, ran over Willow's mother. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is the only way they know how to actually add tension into an already stressful situation. So whatever. Those two are actually pretty annoying, but whatever at this point. So Esme talks to Ava and is just digging at her. Oh, I know stuff that you don't know, especially about your marriage, this, that, and the third. And Nicholas comes in. Nicholas like, hey, just whatever you think about doing, just don't do it. You don't want to make an enemy out of me. Really? Because I'm pretty sure she's been handling you the entire time. But okay, sure. Let's throw out threats because that's really gonna scare her at this point. So she was like, listen, I'm gonna enjoy this. Well, you know what? You could sit there and tell your wife, at this point. And he gets all nervous and everything like that. And he's trying to like, hey, listen, it's nothing. It's no big deal. But Ava's like, yo, what's going on? So they go into another room. And at this point, Nicholas starts off he starts off with his apology tour. Okay, he starts trying to, oh, I'm sorry, I love you. Whenever you sit there and starts off with I'm sorry or I love you in that way, whatever words about to come out of this person's mouth, it's going to be bad. Okay, and he's like, yeah, I slept with Esme, and the old Ava came out. Oh, I enjoy that when she ripped this man apart and was saying things like, I thought I married a man, but instead just a spineless coward. I was like, oof, bro, she just took your man card. I felt that. Okay, I felt that just watching that. Jesus Christ. She literally disintegrated him and was like, I'm gonna burn your life alive. I mean, I'm gonna burn your life to the ground. And I'm gonna enjoy doing it. And when she says something like, you slept with somebody who could have practically been your daughter. I was like, that hurts. That hurts. Now, to be fair, okay, to be fair, I'm pretty sure when you sit there, you know, having a little fun with Morgan could have been your son. But you know what? Listen, you're in your own element right now. So I'm just going to sit there and not be petty and let that go and let you finish destroying whatever manhood that this man actually has left. It was great. It was actually my favorite part of this episode. Um, After Esme gave her testimony, she got to the house. She was packing up her stuff, and I was sitting there the whole time. Her back is turned, so I'm just like, "Where's Ava?" Because I know Ava wants to whoop this chick's ass, and technically she's 18, so she is somewhat of an adult. I feel like it's legal to sit there and put hands on her. She turns around, and Ava's right there. So I can't wait until the next episode. This is the Ava that I love. This is the Ava that I missed. The badass, take no prisoners, not afraid of Carly or anyone else. Ava. That's the Ava that I miss. It's like I missed the old Julian when he was there. Before he turned into a spineless coward whenever Sonny walked into the room. You know, during that whole trial, there's a point where Taggart is not there questioning Diane, should they, put Trina on the stand and how it may not be good or it's a lot of pressure, this, that, and the third. I was like, Taggart, do me a favor. Just hang out back there. Let her be a lawyer. Okay? Let her do her thing. She's a rock star. She doesn't need your input or, strategizing with her or anything like that. Like, she's good. Let her do her thing. You sit back and you just pray for a miracle at this point. But what you don't need to be doing is sit there questioning her and second guessing her. I felt that to be a little bit annoying. Like, bro, just like really, what? And up until this point, what was you actually doing to sit there and help Trina out? So, like, sit your dumb ass down. How about that? So there was a pointless scene with Mac as far as talking to Dante about advancing his career, and Mac stepping down from his position. Now, at some point, Sam comes in, and there's a line that Dante says, and there's something along the lines of, I just want to sit there and think about, from one day to the next, my life, I just want my life to revolve around Sam and the kids. I want my life to revolve around Sam and the kids. It seems kind of off about that. I don't know. I don't know what is it about that sentence. And it's not like, oh, it's because I don't like those two together or anything like that. But it's something about that sentence that just, I don't know. I'm not exactly feeling it. Anyway, Sam gets there and Dante is talking about moving in. And she's like, well, I don't really know. Everything's good right now. Why rock the boat and everything? And I'm just like, when Dante was like, well, it is the next logical step. And it's not like our kids don't get along. So why not? So they got that whole thing going on. I know some people that don't like. Well, in some ways, I felt like her presence wasn't really needed, but neither was Dante's. Really, um, or at least those scenes together wasn't really necessary because it didn't really go anywhere. It just seemed like, all right, she's not really sure about moving on. She just kind of wants to be in whatever position that she wants to be in for whatever odd reason. But to be honest, I was never exactly co-signing their relationship because, well, they're practically brother and sister. So there is that. Not by DNA, but by sharing a brother. There's a scene with Sonny. This is after Dax was talking to, how about to call him Michael, and technically his Michael, Sonny. Brando walks in, and Brando's sitting there talking to Sonny about Sasha and just how worried he is and everything like that. But I'm gonna be honest, looking at previews from the next episode, you can tell that he's at the end of his rope with her. You can tell he's at the end of his rope with her. I don't know what it's about, but I feel like it has something to do with about she not taking her recovery that seriously. I mean, in the beginning, she literally said, "I don't see the point of therapy. I just want to move on." Well, babe, we tried that before, and it didn't really work out too well. After you almost had your heart attack. Remember that when you were, like gonna be on death's door. I mean, I honestly tell you the truth. When I'm looking at it, it's like, how many times did she actually relapse? And now you're married to this man. You're sharing a life with him. You're sharing your ups and your downs with him. You're sharing your joys and your stress with him. You don't think at some point that he's going to break? See, once again, I am forced to sit there and take a look at what Gladys said about their whole relationship in the beginning, about how she wasn't really for it. And you know what? The more scenes I see them arguing, the more I'm just like, maybe you should have tried to patch things up with Michael. Because her not taking recovery that seriously and bringing that type of stuff to a recovering addict and having him deal with their stress. And I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. Did this dude actually even take any therapy of himself, like any sort of grief counseling or anything like that? So, what are we doing at this point? So Michael was sitting there meeting Dax at the stairway, at the stairwell or whatever. And even Michael was like, yo, listen, this isn't a good time. Anyone can sit there and catch us at any point in time. But he does sit there and tell Dax how to manipulate Sonny, um, which in so many ways just seemed pretty cruel. Oh, well, you can give him the one thing that he really needs is a son. You can sit there and ask him for advice and, play on his ego and things of that nature. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you really don't like him. Like, I mean, again, you being upset of what Sonny did, and you want to distance yourself from him, fine. But just like what I said to Jocelyn as far as being, entitled and everything like that, and, you were totally fine with how he handled business, how you was able to sit there and sleep at night and money and food and things of that nature. You were fine with it. But now, because he cheated on your mom, now it's, oh man, we gotta sit there and go for World War III. When he killed your, and honestly, tell you the truth, in a lot of ways, it's worse with Michael because Sonny actually killed AJ, and you found a way to forgive that. But really, so once again, when the truth comes out, let's see how, um, let's see how well he deals with his mother. Let's see how well he deals with his mother because that's going to be hilarious. Now, at some point, Brando does walk up, and Brando's like, yo, what's going on? So they got that whole thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like the darker side of Michael coming out, the strategist and everything like that. That stuff is great. But it's coming out at a point where it doesn't really add up. It doesn't really add up for me. And that's my issue with this whole Michael versus Sonny thing. With killing AJ, we all understood that. And we were all there for it. But now, really? Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And by the way, I did say this yesterday. I'm going to sit there and say it today. Also, sorry if I'm repeating myself. I'm also going to try to put it in my, do a post for it. Me, DC Soap Sanctuary. We're going to be on a JLJ Media show tonight, 9 o'clock New York time. Extra connections. It's going to be live. I'm not really too sure how the chat feature works because I've never actually gone on the show before. But it should be fun. Should be interesting. We may butt some heads. We may actually want to bumping heads. Me and JLJ Media. But it should be a lot of fun. So with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video.